Hello students! As we have seen in our previous videos that the process of sexual maturation is slow. The sexual maturity keeps on happening along with general body growth internally. Therefore, little sexual maturation does not necessarily mean that the body or the mind is ready for sexual acts or having children. Such kind of immature sexual acts or premature pregnancy creates problems for both child and mother. And thus, general awareness about the reproductive health is very important. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, reproductive health means total well being in all the aspects of reproduction. It includes ability to reproduce and regulate fertility, women's ability to undergo pregnancy and safe childbirth, and lastly, the survival and well-being of mother and child. Several measures were undertaken by government to improve the reproductive health of population by launching national health programs such as Family Welfare Program, Reproductive and Child Health Care or RCH program. Under Reproductive and Child Health Care, that is RCH program, government provides all services like pregnancy and childbirth to females, postnatal care of mother and child, creating awareness about importance of breastfeeding to mothers. Second, the National Family Welfare Program is a comprehensive scheme. It includes healthcare and immunization of mothers, infants, and children, nutritional supplements to pregnant women and infants and children, contraception with health education to motivate couples to accept small family. Small family norms improves economic status, living status and quality of life for people. The family welfare program also includes one very important aspect about creating awareness about sexually transmitted diseases and urinary tract infections by running various health campaigns. So the question now is, what are sexually transmitted diseases? We have learnt in class 9 that diseases can be transmitted from person to person in different ways. Since this sexual act is very intimate connection of bodies, it is not surprising that many diseases can be sexually transmitted as well. These include bacterial infections such as gonorrhea and syphilis, or viral infections such as warts and HIV/AIDS. The other class of diseases includes UTIs, that is urinary tract infections, that happen due to bacteria that are present on skin of reproductive organs or urinary tract organs. Now about sexually transmitted diseases, commonly called as STDs, you have already learnt in your previous classes their symptoms, their causes, and their treatments. Today, we will learn about urinary tract infections, also called as UTIs. We know that almost all diseases affect both women and men, but few diseases occur at a higher frequency in women. Women are more susceptible to bacterial infections due to bacteria naturally present on the skin of rectum or vagina. And do you know why? This is because women have a shorter urethra than men. This means bacteria can easily reach the bladder or kidneys or other organs and cause infections in women. And thus, women have 40% higher risk than men of such infections. The whole class of such infections are called as UTIs. Now, sometimes due to some reasons, these bacteria enter urethra and then move upwards to cause infections like cystitis or bladder infection and kidney infections. Bacteria present in urinary bladder multiply rapidly due to change in internal environment of urinary bladder. This leads to inflammation. It is most common in females in age group of 20 to 50. Now the bacteria present on the skin of vagina or urinary bladder can sometimes travel upwards to the ureter and they finally reach kidneys. They can affect one or both kidneys and cause severe infections. In fact, sometimes they also pass into bloodstream and lead to serious life-threatening complications. So how can we identify that we are having some sort of UTIs or urinary tract infections? Correct, by watching out for some symptoms. And the symptoms of such UTIs are an urge to urinate often, that is frequent urination, and pain or burning sensation while urinating, fever, tiredness or shakiness, pressure or pain in lower belly or pain below the ribs, urine that smells bad or looks cloudy or reddish. These all are the symptoms when there are some infections in your urinary tract. Now let us see causes of these UTIs. Having unprotected sex or during pregnancy, conditions that block the urinary tract such as kidney stones, conditions that make it difficult to fully empty the bladder such as an enlarged prostate gland in men and constipation in children, implantation of urinary catheters. Student, this tube that you are seeing on your screen is urinary catheter. It is inserted in the bladder to drain urine for such patients who cannot urinate or who cannot move. Having a weakened immune system, for example, people with diabetes or people having chemotherapy, not drinking enough fluids, not keeping the genital area clean and dry. But students, sometimes these UTIs don't show up symptoms. And such class of UTIs are called as asymptomatic bacteriuria. Such infections are caused due to bacteria that are there in urinary bladder but they don't show up symptoms for a long period of time. Chances of asymptomatic infections in men and women aged between 65 to 80 years are 50% higher than normal. And it is as high as 40 to 50% after the age of 80s. So now the question is, how can we reduce the chances of UTIs? The answer is by maintaining proper hygiene around ourselves. Hygiene, as you know, is the practice of healthy living and personal cleanliness, especially of reproductive organs. Hygiene can include personal hygiene, social hygiene, sanitary hygiene. We will see them one by one in our next video.